So this video is about how do you go about finding horizontal asymptotes, and that's a little bit trickier than the first one. So here on this page 203, it talks about it here. It says what are the horizontal asymptotes of this particular equation, and there are three cases that we should look at first. In this situation. So let's look at each case individually. So finding horizontal asymptotes. Okay, so we're looking at the first case. So the first case, let's say we have an equation of g of x equal to x plus 4 all over x squared plus 1. If you take a look, the highest exponent on this one is a 1, and the highest one in the denominator is a 2. So if that's the case, as the value of x increases, the value of the denominator gets very large in relationship to the numerator. So the value of the function gets closer and closer to 0. So basically, if the exponent is less than, and this is in the numerator, is less than the x, in this case it was a 2, in the denominator, then in all situations y will equal 0. That will be your horizontal asymptote, all the cases. So anytime the numerator's exponent is smaller than the denominator's exponent, it will always be this case. So this is a nice thing to know. If you look at case 2, if we had a different equation like h of x equal to x squared plus 1 over x plus, let's say, 2. Okay, in this case, the numerator highest exponent, okay, is greater than the denominator highest exponent. And so if that's the case, then you're not going to have any horizontal asymptotes. This concludes no horizontal asymptote. Okay, so once again, if the exponent of the numerator, the biggest one, is greater than the denominator's exponent, then there will be no horizontal asymptote. And so that's a nice thing to have in your notes. Case 3 is the one you're looking for all the time. Let's say it's k of x equal to 2x squared, and that's plus x plus 1, and then that's all over x squared plus 1. In this case, the numerator highest exponent equals the denominator highest exponent. And so this means that the horizontal asymptote is is actually the coefficient. It actually is the coefficient values. So if you take a look, if I only look at this part, since the exponent here is the same as the exponent here, my coefficients are my actual horizontal asymptote. So my horizontal asymptote is going to be 2 over 1 or just 2. That's what it's going to be approaching. And so that's what's going on here. So this concludes that the horizontal asymptote is y equal to 2. So these are the three cases. So when this one's smaller than this one, then we have always y equal to 0. If the numerator is greater than the denominator, we don't have a horizontal asymptote. But when the exponents are the same, then it is the coefficient that's sitting here that it eventually approaches. So these are the three cases of that work on that. So let's take a look at the example that they gave us this time. They gave us f of x equal to 3x minus 2, and then the denominator was x squared plus 7x plus 12. Notice that this is a 1 and this is a 2, and so that means that our horizontal asymptote is going to be y equal to 0, right? Because that's the case. This is case 1. Okay, and then again, we did this in the last video. We broke down the two components, right? So we can do this. So now I know my vertical asymptotes, which I have 2, is going to be x equal to -3 and x is equal to -4. And so now when I go to graph, okay, when I go to graph this particular situation, I have one at -3, so 1, 2, 3, and I have one at 4, and so they're dotted here. And so this is y equal to -4, and this is y equal to -3, and then we have one at 0, so there's one sitting on the x-axis. So there's the y equal to 0. And so looking at the picture, if we were to graph it, it would graph something like this. Okay, and so this is the situation on that. So what I'd like you to do, the triads, okay, and this time find the horizontal and vertical asymptotes. So here's the first one, the g of x. We have the 2x squared plus x minus 9. You'll have to factor that, looks like. And then you have x squared minus 2x minus 8. So what are the asymptotes? Okay, state which ones they are. What's the vertical, what's the horizontal? You'll have to factor all this, and then I want to graph a nice pretty one. So make some points and then put it on there so it looks good. And then your second one is just going to be x squared plus 5x plus 4, and that's all over 3x squared minus 12. Okay, so what are the vertical and horizontal asymptotes of each of the graphs? And we'll say that this one's equal to k of x. Okay, but what's the asymptotes? What's the vertical? Which one is the horizontal? And then I want to graph. Okay, that's what I'd like you to see. Thank you.